Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and I primarily source all of my inventory through mystery boxes from different online companies, secondhand clothing companies, liquidation, things like that. And I always come onto my channel every time I order a new box, show you what came in the box, and then I come back in a few months and I do an update in hopes that it helps you make some decisions for your own reseller business and what to source. So today I'm actually doing an update on the Levi's secondhand men's mini box from Helpsy, which is now NuSource. So if you want to see how this one did for me, definitely stick around. So I've had a little bit of fun within the past couple of months experimenting with these mini boxes that they've been on and off offering. Now that it's NuSource, I don't know if they will or not. They've only been NuSource at the time of filming this for like a week. But basically it's their way of getting you to do a custom order, I guess. They will say, okay, if you want this, we'll pull the next 20 pieces of this, whatever it is, and it's yours. So I ordered the Levi's men's secondhand box, which they do sometimes put men's Levi's secondhand stuff in other mixed brand boxes, but this one is especially curated only men's Levi's box. I do like selling men's Levi's, but I don't get a ton of it because I don't really thrift anymore. So, but in the event I get like something men's Levi's in a mystery box somewhere, it always tends to sell pretty quickly. It's pretty tried and true, and the cost seemed right for me to give this one a try. So if you like content like this, certainly consider subscribing to the channel. Anytime I do a new unboxing, I come back in a few months and I give you an update based on my actual results. I rated the box based on the ease of listing, overall profitability, and quality of items. And when I'm done giving you my results, I will go over that rating again and we'll see if they match up to what I had originally said. Hit that like button if you could. That definitely lets me know that you like this kind of content. And let me know if you've ordered this box or just in general, what is your experience with men's Levi's? And do you think my results are kind of in line with what's typical, or is this sort of a one-off situation? So definitely let me know as you're watching this. All right, so this was a 20-piece made-to-order mini box. And I'll link the mini box selection down below. Like I said, they kind of go on and off sale, at least they have in the past, just based on availability. But if you want to check it out, you can. And code OHYEAH, OHYEAH, does work for 10% off like anything on the site. So whether it's one of these or if you're shopping for something else, be sure to plug in code OHYEAH when you check out and you'll get 10% off of your order. So this one cost me $98.82. There was a 20-piece box, but it looks like there were 3 items that I did not list. Most likely they were damaged or just not worth selling. But that put my cost per piece at $5.49 per piece. As of right now, I have sold 16 items and I only have 1 left. So almost everything is gone. What I'll do is I'll show you what sold, how much I got for it, what platform it sold on. I'll talk about how long it took to sell. And then at the end, I'll show you the one thing I have left. And then at the very end, I will talk about how I feel about this box now that I've had a chance to sell everything. So let's go ahead and start with what has sold. And by the way, overwhelming majority of the stuff on this box, and I'm not surprised, but overwhelming majority sold on eBay. So majority of the sales that you will see today are eBay sales. I definitely think Levi's, although Levi's sell everywhere, but this definitely was a good brand to put on eBay. If you're not already listing Levi's on eBay, definitely something to consider. Okay, so the first up were the 505 black jeans. These were a 31 by 32. These sold in under a month on eBay for $11. These I'm pretty sure I accepted an offer on. Just based on the condition and the size, I wasn't really expecting more for these. Again, I paid $5.49 per piece, so I didn't lose money on that, and that's the lowest selling item. I had $5.69 denim shorts in tan. These were a size 33. These took about a little under 4 months, but I listed this stuff back in February of 2025, and they sold, it looks like Memorial Day weekend. So totally typical. Shorts are summertime wardrobe, and so the fact that they sold at the end of May makes perfect sense. I had the 505 original fit jeans in blue. These were 34 by 32, and these were listed 3 weeks and sold for $14 on eBay. Again, based on condition, totally fair price. Don't worry, it gets better. I had the 511 denim shorts. These were a 36. Now, these did sell in February. These took less than 2 weeks, and they sold for $14 on eBay. Again, typical for what they were and what condition they were in. Then I had a pair of 568 dark gray corduroy pants, so not quite jeans, although majority of everything that was in here was jeans. This was a size 29 by 32, and these sold very quickly, again, within 3 weeks on eBay for $15. I had the striped flannel. So this was the brand Sutter Creek. It didn't actually say, well, it might have said Levi's, but like I listed it under Sutter Creek. Maybe it's was some sort of Levi's diffusion. I mean, this was definitely an older shirt. And it was a size small, but I think it was the only shirt in the box. So it was like, whatever, it is what it is. These took about 2.5 months to sell, but it did sell on eBay for $15.29. So, hey, like I said, it wasn't even like Levi's per se. So that's fine by me. I had the 510 jeans in green. These were a 36 by 32. These sold in about 6 weeks on Poshmark for $17. I had the 541 jeans in black. These were a 32 by 34. These only took 5 days to sell, and they sold on eBay for $20. I had a pair of 501 button fly jeans in a 30 by 30, and these took a little longer. Actually, I'm kind of surprised, but these took about 3.5 months, and they sold on Poshmark for $21. This is the only pair of jeans that, well, there weren't a lot of Poshmark sales to begin with, but this is the only one where my Posher VA sent out that 10% offer and the buyer accepted it. Everything else was purchased either outright or somebody sent me an offer. So that's interesting. There were the 514 slim straight jeans in gray. These were a 36 by 30. These took 5 weeks to sell, but they sold on Poshmark for $21. I had the 510 jeans in black. These were a 33 by 30, and these took about 2 months to sell, but then sold on eBay for $21.24. There were a pair of 511 jeans in black. These were a 34 by 34. These also sold on eBay for $21.24, and these took about 5 weeks to sell, 6 weeks. There was a pair of 501 button fly jeans in light tan, size 38 by 30. These sold on eBay for $22.49. And these odd amounts, because I see there's like 4 of them in a row here. Most likely somebody watched the item and I sent an offer to watcher. I go on my eBay a couple times a day and I send out offers. So I did accept some offers on eBay, especially on the higher selling items. Although I guess $22 is not super high, but you know, it is what it is. And it shows that actually engaging with people and sending out offers does work. Then there was a pair of 505 straight fit jeans in black. These were a 34 by 34. These took about 8 weeks to sell, and they again sold for $22.49 on eBay. And then the last two, there was a pair of 501 button fly jeans in black in a 44 by 30. These sold for $29 on Poshmark, and these took 7 weeks to sell. And the highest selling item in the box was the 569 loose straight jeans, 36 by 30. These sold in 12 days, less than 2 weeks, for $30 on eBay, which somebody sent me an offer. So nothing super fabulous, no like holy grail in the box. Everything was kind of average, but everything sold except for this one pair of jeans. I have a pair of 501 button fly jeans in a 44 by 30. Those are still holding out for I don't know who, but everything else has sold. So, and the ones that I wasn't able to list, most likely, I remember one of them was really damaged. But as with any Helpsy source or NuSource now, I guess, there is expected to be some flaws in the box, and I chose not to list the ones that were flawed. But let's talk about overall how this box did. So my rating scale is as follows. It could be anything from the top of the top, holy grail, or oh yeah, oh okay, oh no, or very bottom, like dumpster fire, depending on how the box did and what it was like to deal with it, basically. So if we're talking ease of listing, quality of items, and overall profitability, ease of listing, I'm going to give it an oh okay. It was a secondhand box. It wasn't hard. I like selling jeans, whether they're men's or women's. They are very easy to list. I can boom, 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 knock out photographs, knock out measurements. They don't require a ton of extra descriptions. So it wasn't like new with tag stuff where it's easy to find stock photos and all that, but it wasn't really necessary for this kind of box. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an oh okay. It was totally as expected. Quality of items were as expected. Like I said, I did expect there would be a few things that were flawed, but overall, everything was in generally great sellable condition. As we can see, pretty much everything sold, which brings us to overall profitability in 90 days. So to recap, I spent $98.82 on this box total, and after selling off almost everything, I've made $240.63. So if I take my $240.63 minus my $98.82 investment, I'm at a profit of $141.81. So I did not quite triple my money, but I over doubled my money. I only have one pair of jeans left, so probably not going to hit that triple mark just by selling one more pair of jeans. But considering that this was a pretty no drama listing and everything sold off rather quickly within 4 months here, I will totally take double my money. And this box was sort of low risk, low reward, right? So I didn't spend a ton on it. I didn't make a ton of money. But for somebody that's just starting out, maybe a hobby reseller, somebody that wants to make a quick flip or get some practice in, I would say that, yeah, this was definitely a decent box. I'm not going to be sitting on a bunch of stuff that's not selling, and I was able to more than double my money. So that all being said, overall, I'm going to give this box an oh yeah. I'm very happy with the results. I haven't seen this one come back in stock, but I am looking out for it because I love me a good secondhand denim box that I can make money on quickly. And so I would absolutely order this again. I've actually been loving these secondhand mini boxes that they've been offering. And I love when they drop new ones with new brands. I'm like, ooh, what can I get? So this one was very exciting to me, and I'll definitely be looking out for it in the future. So you'll have to let me know your experience. Was it the same as mine, or did I just get lucky here? I feel like this is pretty par for the course with Levi's, but you never know. Things are always changing. Make sure you subscribe if you like content like this. I would love to see you again in a future video. Hit that like button on the way out. And thank you so much again for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I will catch you in the next video.